All right. In our last factoring review of the week, we are going to be talking about difference of squares. So what I want you to observe here is that in each case, I have something squared minus something squared, right? This is 9 squared, okay? Now, the same thing is going to be true, which is we're going to check for a GCF and then factor, okay? Now here, there's no GCF. There's no number that multiplies to 181. But the same, like some of the same patterns are true, right? This times this is this, and this times this is this. And then this times this plus this times this has to equal 0. Because look, there's a plus 0x, an invisible term in here. Now, how do two things equal 0? Well, two things equal 0 like this. For example, 5 plus negative 5 equals 0, or negative 3 plus positive 3 equals 0. So what we actually need is for when we add these terms for them to be the same number, but different signs. So here's how it goes. We put a plus and a minus. We take the two numbers that multiply to this, and it has to be the same. Look, like x times x equals x squared. Look, what times what equals 81? 9. Now look what happens when I multiply. X times x is x squared. This is negative 9x and positive 9x. Look, those cancel. This equals 0, right? And then 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. So the rule is it's always going to be 1 minus and 1 plus, doesn't matter the order. And this term are going to be the same. They're going to multiply to this. And this term are going to be the same, and they're going to multiply to this. Okay, now here, look, I should have checked for a GCF first. There is no GCF. There's no number that multiplies to 9 and 49. Okay, so what can I put here times here that would multiply to 9x squared? So let's see. 3 times 3 is 9. And x times x is x squared. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And what times what is 49? Well, the square root of 49 is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And so this is my answer. Okay, here I actually do need to check for a GCF first. Okay, I notice like 20 isn't a square number. I can't multiply a number by itself and get 20. So right away that should have sent up like a little red flag. Let's look for the GCF of 20 and 125. So 20 doesn't multiply to 125 and 10 doesn't multiply to 125. I know because it doesn't end in a 0. But 5 does. So let's take out a 5. 5 times 4 is 20. And 5 times 25 is 125. And now I notice this is a difference of squares. This is something squared and this is something squared. So I'm going to go ahead and do my plus and my minus. This times this equals this. So let's see. 2x times 2x equals 4x squared, right? 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. And what times what equals 25? 5 times 5 equals 25. Okay, and that's my answer. I'm all done. Okay, so down here, I will tell you only one of these has a GCF. Okay, so you find it, and then they're all gonna look like this, right? It's gonna be 2 parentheses, the same thing in both parentheses, the only difference is 1 plus and 1 minus.